All right. I did not get a chance to record this on the Friday last week because I was traveling. But yeah, so today is Monday, 7th April. So this is what I did between April, let's say my March 31st to April 4th. So this week, um, I had a few important to do. So one is finalizing all the chapters that I was teaching, and okay, I finished all the chapters last week, but I was working mainly on the final week, which is about how I use AI. And because the rate at which AI is developing, there's something or the other that keeps coming up every other week. And so it always felt like, I wanted to create like 3 or 4 videos, but I created like 13, I think. So there's something or the other. And some of those are like super regular, like, Google Photos, like removing stuff from images, things like that. But it also shows like how generative AI is being used in commercial products that are useful. Like, so generative fill is a very good feature of generative AI. So so I was working on those, and then on Thursday, um, yeah, I'm trying to think if I was doing any other things. I was trying to also write something or like write a review or a bunch of reviews or something like that also before I leave. But on Thursday, I left for Michigan. I was in the morning, so I had a presentation at Munich, in Munich, remotely. It was like a 15-minute presentation with the same guys I visited in Munich. Unfortunately, I could not go there because of the fucking visa issues for Indians. And and then yeah, I had a presentation, and then I took 11 a.m. flight. I went there at 1 p.m. Uh, and then yeah, I was giving this workshop on how generative AI, people use generative AI. So one thing that I realized is uh, uh, what? So I was attending this workshop called the Social Media and Society in India conference. It's a conference in Michigan. It happens every year, organized by Jajit Pal, like where he invites a bunch of like practitioners. So most of them are social media influencers, politicians, journalists, over-indexed by journalists. But yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Like in terms of like the people who come there, not necessarily in terms of the academic discussions that happen, like because they're in completely different worlds, and like some of the time stuff they say are either too obvious or too, over your head kind of thing. So it's um it's good, like it's good networking opportunity. It's good to meet new people and things like that. And for that, I was presenting like a 2 hour workshop on how you could use generative AI for social media work and other types of work. And I was giving along with Soham Day from University of Washington workshop on that. And so, I mean, we were really worried about what to say that is not too obvious, but also too, uh, too high level, and like, that people could engage and people find useful and things like that. Because last year I did this workshop in the same conference on like, academic update on misinformation, academic landscape on misinformation or something like that. Man, that was a disaster. Like we said, misinformation is rare, and like people just, all the journalists just like blasted us. How can you say that misinformation is rare? Because they're practitioners and they come across this, and they're also fact checkers and things like that. So it was not that great uh, last year. So I was really worried of that happening again. But okay, luckily, so what we did is we presented. So me and Soham divided it, and we said, okay, we'll talk about two specific things, so not everything that can happen, and it's about generative AI for curation, creation of content, and for consumption of content. So I was presenting the creation, someone was presenting the consumption. And so I was presenting mostly tools like image generation, video generation, audio generation, things like that, advances in that. And some of those are really good, like some of the advances. I realized as well, like part of the learning experience of actually working on this is I realized how good things are. Like for instance, let me just show you. I'll just share it. Let's see. Oh, there's that. This is for here. Yeah. So this was the thing. I mean, I'm recording and will release a video series on like how I use generative AI, but so one of the things, okay, I showed, for instance, this thing, like which is, generation of personalized images that look ultra realistic, right? Like this is with the Flux model, it's fine-tuned on my face. Like a lot of these are, I mean, some of those are obvious, that's AI generated. These maybe, this one maybe not, this one, whatever, right? Like so, some of these are, I mean, this I would believe, like, okay, the face is a bit bad, but it's quite good. Um, okay, but then there are these sorts of things. So this is again like from an AI generated image generating a video. The consistency is not so good, but it's okay. This is also good. Like it's AI generated image of me in front of a temple in Cambodia, and then doing something. Consistency is quite good. Like the camera, like people walking around and things like that. So this is my partner. Again, like the face, the hair, like all of these are so good. Like it's really, really good. Like in the okay, the fingers are messed up, all of that stuff. Like, but otherwise, it's quite good. Another thing that I realized is this deep fake. You cannot hear the voice, but this is a deep fake. It's really, really good. It took like only like 5 minutes for me to generate this. It's on this tool called HeyGen, which really is quite good. Like all the eye blinking and all of that is a deep fake, so it's really good. And a bunch of other things. I was showing also things like generating comics. This is really good. Actually, like one shot, so just writing down yeah, some comic that I want to generate in the future. But things like these sorts of posters that you can do. This is accurate but also visually correct. Then this also comics. So here you can say, okay, generate an image with my face. This does not really look like my face, but the Radgar's logo is correct. The door looks correct. This comic thing, right? Like showing me and put my face here. And the comic is correct. Like all of that is really good. And a bunch of other things that we did not get time to show, like data processing and things like that. But I think overall it was quite good. Like I think the practitioners really liked it. So, and Zoham was showing things like Notebook LM, Perplexity, a bunch of search and like some agentic stuff. We did not get time to go into that, but he had some of that stuff, like really good, interesting stuff. But overall, the conference was also quite good. As usual, like it was, uh, a lot of it is not relevant or not helpful or like a bit too obvious or things that I don't agree with or things like that. But some of them are quite good. And this time, at least, it's also getting a bit better. So I mean, I've been going there for 3 years now. I used to feel a bit more anxious and a bit more um, imposters, like I don't know if that's a word, like imposter syndrome, like who am I kind of thing. But now I'm a bit more comfortable in my skin. Like I can go and reach out to people and say, hey, I'm this kind of this and this, and I do this and this kind of stuff. That's at least a bit better. So I attended a lot of dinners and things like that. I mean, the problem usually with these sorts of events outside is these influencers. They're obviously a bit more social types, not necessarily everyone, but they are also a network upon, on to themselves. Like they know each other a bit more than they know me. There's very few academics there, so that's kind of a problem that I used to face. But okay, now I think it was a bit better. Also, overall, that was quite good. So that was Friday and Saturday. Uh, and yeah, I mean, this week I have, okay, I'll do it on Friday. Last week I did submit some papers to workshops at ICWSM. I wanted to submit some dataset paper. Man, yeah, this dataset paper that I had extremely high hopes for, and like is supposed to be one of my major, uh, major uh, contributions to research. I got rejected at ICWSM. I mean, ICWSM dataset community is like one of the few datasets that can be accepted, and now that hope is just destroyed. And I think the paper is orphaned. I am trying to try nature scientific data, but I don't think this is scientific data, so I don't think it'll go through. But it's really unfortunate like that people think of like this sort of ethics as a. I mean, it has gone the other way on the more extreme side where okay there were five data sets and people will just complain about oh this WhatsApp data set is not ethical. And I'm not releasing anything personal, whatever. Like I have my own shit for that, but yeah, it was a huge bummer and really disappointing. But yeah, I mean that's the thing with these is I was really hoping that this is it'll go through there and that's like a huge contribution for me to the community that I can cite and it's going to be well cited and a lot of people use the data set and things like that. Yeah, it's not happening, so that's bad. But yeah, that was the update for this week and last week and yeah, we'll see you next week on this Friday.